What can we do to bring hope to your children who are in the diaspora? What can we do to create a pathway for those who are descendants of the formerly enslaved to say, you know what? If the going gets tough, I can always go home to Africa. To you, African leaders, you have the power of the pen. You have the voice to give to your parliaments, to create a pathway for your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved, to come home, to re-anchor them so they don't continue to feel like they're lost in the wilderness. We have that responsibility to pave that path. To our kings, from the Oni of Ife to the Osei Tutu of Ghana, to King Zulutini of the Zulu people, to the King of Swaziland, all around the continent, the King of Morocco, please, I need you to take a moment and listen to the voices of your children in the diaspora. They have been calling to come home for over 400 years. Please answer their cries. They need to come home. And you can do it. To the African leaders, I say, please create a pathway, because your children have been crying for too long. I did not mean to cry, but this is very upsetting. The children of Africa must go home. Let's make it happen. African heads of states, I'm begging you, please fix this. As a mother, as a grandmother, I feel hopeless. I feel the hopelessness of black people in this country. This has been going on for so long. The question then becomes, to what end? To what end? It doesn't seem to just come to an end. At what point are we going to get a break? At what point are black people going to cease to be endangered species, especially black men? And as I sit back and trying to figure out what would be the beginning, I can't help but find myself going back to our ancestors, going back to our current kings and queens, and saying, you know, a wrong was done centuries ago. It's been 400 years, and yet there's not a single way, a single pathway, a single country that you can say, if the children of Africa could just have hope. You see, for the African American, you can only trace them to the plantation. Their names take them to the plantation. It's almost as if they're just like a ship that's all sails, but no anchor. Until they reconnect with their roots, until they know that I can wake up tomorrow and say, I want to go home to Africa, and they can go home. Why is it that we don't have that pathway? Why is it that we don't have that pathway? I woke up this morning, and that's the one thing that was on my mind, to say, if only there could be a pathway where this sense of hopelessness that I feel and see that's palpable among black people in this country, and not only in this country, even in Europe, where black people are being hunted like wild animals, where that white man was comfortable, that white police officer was quite comfortable, looking so relaxed with his knee on George's neck, killing him slowly for 10 minutes, hands in his pocket like no big deal. I feel the hopelessness. I feel the exasperation. I feel the tiredness.